One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
Sometimes it's literally like wrangling cats. For real.
Meow.
Wrangle. I've never seen anyone literally
Meow.
wrangle cats.
That's why it's difficult, because you don't even get to see it. That's how hard it is.
I remember when I tried to wrangle Kittery when we were moving years ago. We had this black cat named Kittery, and she was vicious, and I was so scared to get her. She was running in the rooms and looking at me like she was going to pounce on me.
She would slam into a closed door trying to get at you.
She wasn't passive. She was aggressive. She would attack.
Scary.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
And this is Mel.
Oh, are we on? I
We-
didn't
yeah.
see it.
We're on.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. Here we go.
We're
I was
on.
going to say,
Who are you?
Huh?
Are you Apple?
Who are you?
I'm a Maine Coon cat.
No. Who are you, dude?
Oh, this is Apple.
Hey, man. What's up? Welcome back to
Hey.
another edition of the No Simple Road
Weekly Rewind.
brought to you in collaboration with the Edible Beats out
Edible
of
Beats.
Denver, Colorado.
That's
if you
right.
don't know who the Edible Beats are, you should go educate yourself online. Just go Google, do a little search, dance with your fingers, and see the Edible Beats. They are changing the way people experience food
And music.
And
If you are interested in their music side, head on over to Ophelia's Den and check out their menu and also their calendar of events.
upcoming shows.
Yeah.
I know one podcast actually that has
Two
graced
podcasts, I know.
the stage
Yeah, two.
at
Yeah, two.
Ophelia's Electric Soapbox. That would be us.
Yeah, two at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
did that.
We
there
did do that.
last year. So here we are. Consistency is the name of the game.
Yes.
And in case you were wondering, so what we're doing is something new for all of you that are just listening and not watching.
Okay.
We are live on YouTube right now.
Yes.
So that's happening. Please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the
If you wanna
like and
watch it.
subscribe and all that stuff that you're supposed to do. And then you'll get a notification when we're going to go live. And then you can come hang out with us when we're doing the weekly rewinds. Like
Here it
this.
is. Yep.
And it's very strange, I have to say, seeing myself talking while I'm talking. It's a weird.
Yeah, it is.
Kinda
This is
juxtaposition.
different. It is different.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So
Well, and also instead of like Monday, you're getting this on Saturday as we see.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
that's right.
getting it one day early, actually.
Mhm.
For all of you who are listening and not watching, you will get this on your regular schedule.
Well, and how does that
Sunday.
work, conductor? This is also going on on the podcast on Monday.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
You could just watch it on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't know about it, then you can get it on the podcast feed on Monday.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
I don't know if anything
I-
makes
I
sense
don't-
right now.
I
I'm
thought
not
that
sure.
you didn't want to do that for a while because
No, we're
of the
doing it.
numbers.
It's happening.
Numbers.
We're doing
numbers.
It's too late. It's already
Too
been
late.
It's already,
That's right.
it's already in business.
We're doing it.
So
We're doing it.
we have turned over a new leaf in 2024. Leaves have
leaf?
been flipped.
Leaves.
And
Leaves.
Consistency, I said it earlier, is the name of the game.
That's our power. That's no simple That's no
Blah, blah,
simple
blah.
roads word for 2024.
What?
Consistency.
Yeah. So we are going to pledge to all of you
Today.
in front of the internet, in the one viewer that we have right now, which is probably me. We're going to be here every week doing this. It may not be on the same day and it may not be on the same time.
Yeah.
It most likely will not be at
Yeah.
the same day, same time, but we will be here every week and you can come hang out with us.
Yeah. So when you think about preparation, what do you think about? Like if I say prepare to both of you, what does that even mean to you?
First thing that comes to mind for me when you say preparation is research. I have to
Okay.
do research in order to prepare.
Okay.
Yeah, for
what
whatever
are
the
you
ta-
thinking about, Apple, when I say prepare?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like get ready. Like it's go time. You got to start. It's go time when you say that. You
It's
got to
go
prepare.
time.
Yeah.
But what goes into preparing for something?
Well, depending on what the task at hand is, well, kind of like you said, research. It's like, okay, you got to prepare for camping, and all of a sudden you go into like camping mode.
Okay.
And like, what all I need? I need my sleeping bag. I need my tent. I need this and that. So depending on the task, but yeah, research is.
But so, okay, you're saying you're making a list now. So you need a list. That's part of being prepared.
Apple is an organization guy. You know this.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but part of being prepared is having a list or some kind of structure,
Right.
right? So it's research, it's structure, and it's
Action.
action.
Yeah. I mean, in preparation for anything, I think the reason that you brought this up, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because we were going to talk about what we've done with.
Well, you were saying we turned over a new leaf. You said
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I was kind of coming in on the side with that.
Okay, I got you. So
Coming on the side.
here at No Simple Road headquarters at the beginning of 2024, we decided to. Yeah. Hey, PJ, what's up, man?
PJ.
I'm here too, very inconsistent.
Hey.
Yes, thank you. I know that I can't do that
Yeah, you
because I'm on
can't do that.
camera.
Yeah.
But then we should move the TV closer so we can interact better. Do you think that's a good idea?
Not right now
Why not?
because it's just not.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, here's the deal. At the beginning of 2024, the three of us decided to make a pledge to each other to get more organized in our life and prepare to change the way that we eat.
yes.
And
Why? Why? I would like to ask all of us down the row.
Well,
Apple, yeah,
I'll
you
start,
start.
because I had the more serious problems. I believe of the three of us with I got a bunch of rashes on my ankles and on my arms, and I went to a dermatologist, and it was a certain kind of eczema, and which can be food related, and so changing and doing the whole 30 thing to kind of do a reset to see what is causing it is the reason that I wanted to get into this, because it sucks to be super like in the middle of the night. I was scratching all on my ankles, on both ankles. I was like scratching in the middle of the night.
oh, dude,
Yeah, you
Brutal.
guys saw
It was-
at
it was
It
violent.
looks scary.
Yeah,
At one
it was
point, it's
scary, and I go to a dermatologist, and they give you, which helped, gave me steroid cream to put on it, which that kind of got rid of it. But then I needed to go further than that and do research and preparation
Yep.
for
Yep.
to figure out what it is, and Well, I don't want the main thing that I'm realizing right now. It's really hard to quit sugar. we're a lot of us out there. I'm realizing how addicted I am to sugar.
A sugar junkie.
I'm a little bit behind Aaron and Mel on this, as I usually am. They're usually, you two are usually the pioneers in the things we do, and I come in a little late. And
Somebody's got to go first.
yeah, and I've been doing. I tried like beginning of last week. I tried like okay, I'm cold turkey, no sugar, cranky, and everything. So over the last week, I've been weaning my sugar down because I put sugar in my coffee, I put sugar in my iced tea that I make, and I've been cutting that down drastically. Tomorrow, my next batch of tea is going to have no sugar.
Wow.
I've cut it down from a third of a cup to a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And then went down to a quarter of a cup, and then half of a quarter of an eighth of a cup in this one, and then tomorrow will be no sugar.
Okay, hang on. We're off track.
No, we're not.
What was the reason that you started doing it? The reason was because you had the rashes.
Because of the rash and dealing with stomach issues that I've always dealt with my whole life, which have gotten a whole lot better. If you're a listener, you know what I went through last year with having to get hemorrhoid surgery and stuff, getting older and having to change my diet then. That was last March, coming up on a year. That's all corrected, and I do not want that to ever happen again to me. That was brutal. So like taking care of my gut and myself is very important now. I'm going to be turning 55 in May.
Congratulations.
And that's
for Apple.
I made it to 55.
Didn't think we'd still be here.
Yeah, and that's
Double nickels.
And when you get to be this age, that's kind of the milestones now, is like kind of 5-year mark, like
5-year increments,
55, 60, stuff like that. So yeah, I just need to take better care of myself, and I've been on the right track, with a little side roads here and there and stuff.
It hasn't been simple.
No, especially with doing what we do, and a lot of you out there listening, when it gets to be festival season and things like that, and it's very easy to be like, well, we're partying and having fun, why not just do all the things?
You can
I really want to work
have
on
fun and be clean.
Yeah, then that's what I really want to work on, is being able to do it right, because I've always been I've always been a vendor whore and a merch whore. Like merch, that's not going to hurt me. It'll hurt the pocketbook, but going to all the vendor, I love the vendor food.
But you're also a foodie,
and a lot. Yeah, and we've talked about this too. I wish there was a way, which we can get there. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner was like a pill almost, or something. Like
they have it, dude. It's called Soylent. You could just drink the thing and on with your day.
And that's everything you need.
Yeah, it's gross. Yep.
Yeah, but then again, I love food so much, and especially like at the beginning when we were talking about edible beets.
Oh yeah.
Like I love looking at their Instagram and salivating over all the dishes.
One thing that they're great. Like if you're going to bring up edible beets, they're so conscious about like serving clean food, food that's been grown within short distances. They've planted, and so edible beets is a great example of how going out to eat can actually be healthy and accommodate your lifestyle.
Yeah, and sourcing your own food.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, I've never been one, like at the beginning of the year, to be one of those people that's like, I have to make a New Year's resolution. We're doing so much all the time. I feel like the resolutions are happening all the fucking time.
We may not say them out loud, but they're occurring.
And we even said this, like, this isn't a New Year's resolution. It's just
a life change.
No, it's just a lifestyle change.
It's the right month for our downtime before you guys take off to Fish Mexico and before festival season starts and everything.
Yeah.
This was the right time
to recalibrate
fit it in when we're not going to be on the road or having a lot of commitments.
Yeah. So for me, I've struggled my whole life with my weight. Like when I was in school, I was the chubby kid that was always picked last in every sport. And that shit leaves a scar on you, and struggled my whole life with like body dysmorphia. Actually, just yesterday, my nephew sent me a picture of him and I. And I'm like holding him when he was a little baby.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at the picture and I was like, God, I wish I could go back and tell that guy that he was thin. Like he
didn't know it?
He didn't know.
Wow.
No, not at all.
When I met you, you were thin.
I know. And so it's been a knot that I've had in my head my whole life. And with the family that I grew up in being in show business, there was such an importance placed on how you look and your weight all the time. My mom was a trapeze artist in the circus.
Can I stop you for one moment?
Yeah.
This is what Tony Robbins would be. This is your old story.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
explaining. Yeah.
No,
So
I know. I just wanted to mention that.
They were trapeze artists and everything was about personal appearance and how they looked. And so my mom, that was her story, and she put that story on me as a kid.
Yeah.
And so it carried over into my adult life, and it was something that I had never
Addressed,
fully confronted or healed in myself. It was, I had gone through times when I had lost the weight and gained the weight, lost the weight and all that stuff. But like, I had never fully healed the wound that was there. And at the end of last year, I just felt like I had gotten really complacent with how I was eating and what I was putting
the
into
end of last year.
Yeah, into my body as fuel, and just how I wasn't exercising, and the stuff that I needed to do for myself, I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
And so
how did it get that way? Because I feel like
it was slow increments. With me, it's like, oh, I have a cold, I'm not going to go to the gym this week. And then that rolls into the next week. And then, I didn't go last week, so I'm not going to go this week. It's a snowball effect with me. And so I actually brought it up to you about Whole30 a while back. I was like, I want to do like a complete reset on our diet. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Whole30 is like
it's not, I mean, anything is a diet. Your regular everyday intake is a diet.
But it's an elimination thing. So you cut out everything but meats, vegetables, and fruits, basically. Everything else is off the table. No beans, no rice, no pasta, no sugar. And so Mel and I have been doing it now for about a week. And so for me, my reason was I wanted to get myself back in line, because I felt like I had gotten off track. And the way that I am, half measures don't cut it. Like I can, if I pussyfoot, and it won't work. I have to like do it the hard way, and then it'll stick. And I know that about myself. I've lived long enough to understand how my brain works. So like, I just was like, that seems like the hardest thing that I could possibly do. So I'm going to try that and do it.
Wow.
And all Aaron is all in on something when you're like, you said that it's like, it's been one day. If I'm doing it one day, I'm doing 30 thing.
Yeah. I'm not going to like, I did one day, 3 days in, I'm going to quit. No, I already
3 days in. I don't feel good.
Fucking, I'm going the rest of the way. It doesn't, like, if I say I'm going to start it, and I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
Or I just won't start.
That's one of the best things that I love about you. Like, for real. Like, that's like top 3 things that I love about you.
I appreciate
because that momentum I can get behind. I can get behind that type of momentum. For me, the reason I wanted to do it was because I too had become lax on how I want to live my life, like how I want to eat. And same thing, I would have like stomach troubles and be like gassy and bloaty and I was just like eating stuff. I wasn't even really enjoying food, to be honest.
You never really have, though.
Yeah, like honestly,
as long as I've known you, you've been like wishy-washy when it comes to eating food.
I do. I have to. What I've realized for me, the reason I started, but what's happening are 2 completely different things. I am gaining consciousness of what I put in my body, And again, I've had this before. This is not brand new to me, but I've had this before and I'm redoing it because I've gotten lax. And I was just like, I don't need that extra stuff. I don't want it. But what I can do is I can get sedentary behind somebody who's sedentary. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if
somebody else is doing it, it's
Are you
easier
saying that you're
to-
easily led?
no.
Okay.
But when you and me, like we're a team.
Yeah.
And I realize this too about specifically about food. Like when I'm gonna go back to Vegas for a minute. Back to Vegas when we lived in Vegas, and I was working as an esthetician. I worked at one of the hotels there. Me and my friend would bring stuff to make smoothies in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and us doing that for the two of us created something for the entire spa. People started bringing in greens and, microgreens and fruit and all this stuff that Vinny chipped in and bought us a ninja. And so the spa started to juice in the morning as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And just by taking care of myself with my friend, that spawned an entire thing. And my Sarah's a huge inspiration, in wellness and physical fitness and things like that to me, because she is a fucking tight ass. She's not gonna tolerate it. No, I'm not gonna eat that. No, I will not eat. I'll wait. I'll starve until we go to the next place and have something for me to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's that, strict with herself. And so I can get behind that energy, but I can also get behind like, all right, one more. Okay, I'll take another little nibble. Sure. It's not that I guess maybe even talking this out, maybe I am I'm easily attracted to a high energy. And if the high energy
whether
and
it's
low vibe,
slothful or
yes, whether it's a low vibe or a high vibe, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to do this to regain my sense of self again, to heal my gut, because the gut is your second brain.
Right.
And I have learned so much in this
We've only
week.
done 1 week.
One
man.
baby week.
1 week.
One little tiny itty bitty baby week is all that Aaron and I have done. And it's brought us closer. My stomach has never been more calm. I don't remember. I'm not joking you. I don't remember ever having my stomach feel this calm. Where I'm holding my stomach, or it's tight, or it's just making noise, or I gotta poop, or something's going on with it. And this is just
chill. It's
blue skies in my
believe
stomach.
me though, when I tell you, everybody that's listening, this has been so fucking hard so far.
Well, but
let's
what?
share the struggle of it so far.
I'm going to share some more of the good parts, though. It has forced us to be communicative about our moods.
Oh yeah,
and our struggles. I'm fucking jonesing right now. I want some sugar. I need something.
It's the weirdest thing, cravings that I didn't even realize were cravings is one of the things that has come up. I told Mel the other day, I realized maybe 4 or 5 days in that I have a habit of going into the kitchen to get something to eat when I'm not hungry out of craving.
Yeah.
It's not hunger. And I never realized that. It was autonomous. It was the craving was in control.
So this is what brings me to the next thing that I wanted to really underscore here. What the Whole 30 and these itty bitty 7 days has taught me is it's about consciousness. I'm doing any of this for consciousness. I wasn't being conscious of what I was doing before. I mean, I can't say that I wasn't. I'm really hard on myself. So, I mean,
you're just
it's, you know what it is,
looking
guys?
at it from a different perspective.
Yes, exactly. It's fine tuned. When you fine tooth comb something, you can always get one more little gnat out or something. So, in my life, I've created and done lots of discipline, and I know how to be with myself. I know how to maintain myself. But we all fall into ruts and into habits and into, things like that. And so once this food thing became like we were doing it, and yes, now we're on the boat,
Mhm.
it was like, wow, I didn't even really care about food that much to begin with, whether like if we had 3 meals or not 3 meals. I don't care. Like, I'm not excited about it. I'm not like ready for these recipes. And I had to kind of figure out like, why? What's my problem? Like,
What is it?
Well, I mean,
Is it because it wasn't making you feel good?
it wasn't making me feel good. So my body was like kind of tightening up to it. And then it was causing reactions in my body. Yeah. Like it was like, if I ate something bad, my problem is things will go right through me. Like I will poop it out instantly. If it didn't agree with me, it's just coming out. Like it's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like
It's a thing.
it's a thing. It's a fast track highway home. Like, nope, it's not going. So yeah, like I would have like be worried if I have to like eat something and then, eating with the guys, if you aren't on your optimal level, then I'm letting myself eat what you guys eat. And that's like really, really not good for me. Like it might not be good for you, but it's really, really, really not good for me because I've kind of like trained myself away from that. So I'm like, oh yeah, so I'll have that pizza, and it really tears me up because I've already been off dairy. I've already been off, these kinds of things that I know that haven't been good for my body. But then I kind of sink back into it be comforted or to like remember, oh, that was good once upon a time. But then immediately my body reacts and it's like, what are you doing, sister?
And that's the thing, like that was the whole idea behind doing this particular Whole30 thing that we're doing, is figuring out, like, you eliminate everything and then you can figure out what stuff isn't good for you.
Yeah, coffee.
Because if you're putting everything in all the time, then you have no idea.
Yeah.
If you strip everything away and you start adding it back slowly one at a time, you can figure out what the fuck is going on with your body and your mind.
So one thing I would say is like, oh, I don't need coffee every day. You'd make me the most amazing coffees every morning, and I didn't need them, but I grew to want them. And then
it's a ritual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about like kind of like our relationship almost even. Like it's something like a sweet something.
It's a treat.
It's like a love bomb in the morning.
Yep.
You present me with a literal love bomb in the morning of something that you love so much. And I realized that coffee tears my stomach up, and I really need like those small little miniature cups. Like that's
Demitas.
that, like an espresso cup. That's what I need, a literal espresso cup for a coffee cup, because that's all I can tolerate. And when I do that, it makes me sluggish. So that's why I'm saying the consciousness of this whole thing is telling me like, it's woken me up to more my intuition more. I will say my inner intuition, my internal organ intuition.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. And look, this isn't like us demonizing anything.
No.
Whatever you want to do is fine for you.
And we,
us.
we're not perfect.
yeah.
Dude, I'm going to go back and eat donuts again when this is over. And I'm going to have a churro when I go to Mexico. Believe it.
That's how I'm looking at this.
But
I want all of these things, but I never in my life, I've always
yourself.
loved dairy and sugar and all that. So like right now, which is weird for me, one of the things I'm missing the most right now, which is new to me in the last year, is my oatmeal.
Oh,
Because that, after I had my surgery and stuff, the oatmeal is what made my stomach right, and getting the good grain, like the grains and stuff. And that one was tough. And like Aaron told, he's like, well, you got to do the eggs. And it took a few days of kind of getting used to that and everything, because I'm afraid, like, I mean, we're being open here, like my poop was messed up.
yeah.
because I was used to having cereal, like having Raisin Bran and a banana when I was in a hurry, or doing oatmeal and apples and stuff. So it's very interesting to me to remove these things and then slowly reintroduce. Like I want to, like anything, when you cut it out,
See what it was
like
actually
taking
doing.
a tolerance, or like for me, like taking a tolerance break from cannabis or something like
Yes.
that. Then when you go back to it, you enjoy it so much more, and then you can do it in moderation.
Well,
Yes.
and also you can see if it was actually benefiting you or not,
Yeah.
because you don't really know at this point. Like
No.
maybe
Well, and
maybe
then-
so, maybe not.
Well, and like sugar, I don't see that benefiting me. And that's the other thing I was going to go back to for just a second is that's one thing. My sister passed of cancer in 2012, and she was always like a sugar junkie, like sugar, and sugar feeds cancer. Sugar is a
does.
very bad thing. And she even told me towards the end, she's like, you need to work on not eating so much sugar.
Aw.
And I never did until now, and it's been 12 years.
Well, hey,
And-
You know
hey,
what?
doing it now.
It's exactly. It's here now, and I think what we're doing the whole 30, it's bigger than just the food. You know, it's not just food.
No, it's a conscious thing.
It's bigger than that, but it also is. It is this as well. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
bigger than this, and it is this.
As
and-
above, so below.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, you know, at the end of last year, we were talking about like going to a new level and bringing things up and kind of changing things. And then January came and kind of like, you know, kicked our butts. You know, it really was like, oh, you want to level up? Well, then here's this. Boom, 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 boom. And it was cool. I'm glad that happened. I really am. I'm glad that, you know, we had that storm, and with everything happened, it bonded us. It showed us where we had cracks. And I feel like the diet is doing the same thing. It's bonding us. It's
Mhm.
showing us where we have our cracks. And yeah, we still probably will have donuts, you know, but at the same time, maybe like when you do something like this for yourself, it's strength. It gives you like such a strengthening confidence and helps you to be like, no, I don't need that donut. Like I can have it. I'm fine with it, but I don't want it or need it.
Having been a junkie in the past, one of the things that I struggle with is like having anything control me, nicotine or anything.
Yeah.
And food is a necessity. Like you have to eat to
Yeah.
stay alive. And so that was always my justification with food. Like, well, you have to do it. You know what I mean?
But you don't.
But you don't have to eat like shit, Aaron. And then anything hanging over my head like that always makes me have a low level feeling of anxiety. I realized through this.
Yeah.
And just before we started, just the thought of like not having sugar, period, was triggering. Like, oh my God, what the fuck? No, can't fucking take that away from me.
Man, when I hold on, I have to say, because you'll remember, but I'm just really proud of you, babe, because I know you so well. And when you mess with your coffee, anything that has to do with your coffee, that is going to be like, sorry. And me and even the kids have talked
I'm
about
on a
it.
deep
like,
level when it gets to the coffee.
yeah, like
Yeah.
even like that is addiction status. That's
Yeah.
like, don't you mess with that man's coffee, right?
Yeah.
And so
Straight up.
you willing to give that up meant to me that we were ready to go forward together. And that like changed my vibe. That
Good.
specific thing changed my vibe.
That's what in the beginning, because I was
Thank
sure
you.
before even reading into it and everything that coffee was a no. That coffee, because Aaron was like, if coffee was no coffee was part of this, I wouldn't fucking.
I wouldn't do it.
Like I gotta have my. It's weird to me. I'm getting used to this, and reading more on it every day and stuff. Like some of the things don't quite make sense to me, but then it does once you read more into it. Like I think caffeine would be a no, but caffeine's not like the processed. It's not processed food. It's not the things that you're cutting out.
But going into the like you said, after the storm and everything that happened to us last week, that was a lot, man. That was really heavy for this house. And It was a lot of emotional strain and tension and all of it.
Yeah, like the physical things that happened were bad, but like internally.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so after that, it made me realize, like I said on last week's rewind, like how soft I am in reliant on everything.
Yeah.
And so doing this, I felt like it was taking control back. Like, fuck that. I'm not letting a bunch of sugar crystals control when I walk into the fucking kitchen. Like, I don't want anything outside of me controlling me like that anymore.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
Yeah, I still have addictions. I still smoke and I still do other stuff. I'm not perfect.
No.
But chipping away at those things one thing at a time where I can is what I can do right now. You know what I mean? And this was a huge one. Like I said back at the beginning of the thing, like, this is deep in my me-ness of like body dysmorphia and weight struggles and dealing with all of it my whole life. And then finally being like, no, you know what? I don't want this hanging over my head anymore. I'm going to take control. And a week in, it's been really hard. Really hard. I don't want to like misrepresent it to anybody out there. It hasn't been fucking rainbows and sunshine. Like the first 4 days, Mel and I looked like somebody hit us over the head with a sledgehammer.
There was no focus, like no clarity, just kind of like, it almost felt like the whole day was like I just had woken up, like the whole day, because you're just not present. I wasn't present, and feeling all of the different feels that that dependency causes. It's an awakening of sorts.
Yeah, no, your body's waking up, and also you're realizing, or I'm realizing that I'm constantly drugging myself over and over and over again all day long. Like right when I wake up,
sedating yourself.
I drug myself with caffeine and sugar to wake myself up. Then I start to come down and then I eat carbs to bring myself back up. And then I go back for sugar when the carbs crash. And so all day long, I'm chasing the dragon with that shit.
Instead of getting true fuel for your day.
Yep.
Through exercise and through eating whole and WHO foods.
And that's they call it the SAD diet, the standard American diet. I mean, we ate pretty good. We weren't going and buying fast food all the time. And
I mean, there's levels, but I would still say on the barometer, that's what we were mostly intaking.
One thing I like about that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have read into this a lot more and everything. This is not considered a diet.
No.
This is not a thing that some people do to lose. You can lose weight through doing it, but it's not about losing weight. Mm-hmm. It's about a whole metabolism and body reset and everything. And now that I'm kind of getting it, like I just in the last few days really started leaning into it more when I realized the other night when I stopped and bought the filet mignons, like a nice little filet mignon in the middle of the pan with veggies all around it and everything. That's a complete meal.
Yeah.
And it's freaking delicious.
And
you don't need, we've done really good over several years now of cutting our portions down to what we eat in this house. It's mainly me, you, and Ryder.
Yeah.
Mel never ate that much, but I mean, I remember when we first moved up here,
Jesus Christ,
Simon was living here. We were 4 big hosses. Like, we had to cook like 3-4 pounds of meat, and we'd all be hurrying up and eating to make sure we got our seconds. Yeah, we used to eat a lot, and I remember, and we all lost a lot of weight. I mean, we've been doing good since we got up here.
Yeah, it's been increments.
Now through all that and everything, this is like, to me, it's kind of like the fine tuning now of like fine tuning the frequency to figure out. It's like, okay, I've done good in all these spots, but man, especially the sugar is that is such a big thing,
dude. I know where this started, actually, the Whole 30 thing. We went to go see the Disco Biscuits at the Roseland Theater a couple of months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
And our friend Chris Cooch from World's Finest showed up. And Chris looked amazing. His skin was clear, his eyes were bright, he was thinner, he looked happy, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Chris, what's going on, man?
What you doing?
And he was like, oh, my girl and I did Whole30, and it changed everything. And I was like, really? And that's what started my gears turning.
Ruminating.
Yeah, because I was like, whatever he's got, I want that. Like, that looks good.
You know, sometimes I don't want, scared might be the wrong word, but like intimidated might be a better word, to bring these like grand ideas that I have in my head for all of us, like our household, because you guys are very opinionated and you have your own things that you.
No way, we're super easy going.
Yeah,
Mel.
Whatever, Mel.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Oh.
And so I have been freaking waiting for this, man. I've been waiting for it. I cannot fucking. I'm so excited about this, everybody. Like, y'all out there, I am so excited about this. I don't care. Like, I had the worst mood swings last week because I was so ravenous,
so grumpy,
and so hungry. And then that made me realize that I hadn't been hungry in a long time.
Well, and
that I'd been craving, like Aaron was saying, like I didn't know what real hunger was. I was craving stuff. I was like wanting things in my head to satiate my stomach. And that didn't even make any sense. How can I want, like, you know, like if you have like guacamole, you automatically think of chips. Why don't you think? Yeah, exactly. Right. Why not vegetables? Why not meat? Why, you know what I mean? Like it just, all these associations, kind of like how it's been marketed to us to have, you know, chips and salsa and dips and this and that and the other.
Bread.
Yeah, bread. Like it made me realize like how much of the slumber I was in.
Yeah. It's made me the first week has been a like culture shock.
Yeah, it's like moving to another country where you don't speak the language. I feel like our shackles were removed. Yeah. That's what it feels like. Like, oh my God, my wrists, I'm free.
Yeah, but I kind of liked how the shackles felt.
Yeah, they were warm.
Well, it's weird to me too what becomes a craving too, because normally, like in the past, a craving to me would be like something really bad, like McDonald's fries or a donut or something. But like last night, middle of the night, I go in there. I was telling that
it's so funny.
Get up middle at like 3 a.m. I'm hungry, and I go looking in the kitchen. Mel had reorganized the kitchen and put all the things we can't have for 30 days, like in our kind of pantry area. And I'm standing, I grab an apple, and I'm standing there eating an apple, looking at all the things I can't have. There's that box of Captain Crunch cereal up on the top with like one little. No, I actually like it being there. It's like a kind of a reminder. I looked at that and was like, I could eat that last night, and then I'm eating the apple, and then I was satisfied. I looked at all the things, I was satisfied, but my real craving, the thing I really wanted last night, I could have just completely horked a piece of wheat bread and chased it down with a glass of milk.
Dude, that's straight up craving right there.
Yep. Yeah,
that's carb craving.
Yeah. And sugar craving. And my whole life, the way I've been programmed, like drink milk, makes the body healthy, calcium, strong teeth.
Again,
bread, wheat bread is good for you. Don't eat Wonder Bread, but eat good bread. And to me, that's healthy, and it's
and
not.
The intuition that it reestablishes with yourself is worth whatever annoyance you're going to have during doing this diet. Yeah. It's worth it because
you see how silly it is. I like kind of laughed at myself and was like, you just ate an apple and you're fucking satisfied and you're going back to bed.
Because it's not just your body, it's mental. That's the thing. It's like realizing all of these like associations, or that's one apple's not going to fill me up.
You don't like, become addicted to something easily.
Yeah. It's sly.
It's in increments over time is how that happens.
Yeah.
You don't wake up a junkie one morning. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I did heroin last night, now I'm a junkie. No, that's not how it happens. It happens over weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's slow and it's insidious. And to back out of that thing is the same process. And look, food is no different than, especially the food that we have available to us now, is drug. It's all drugged.
Mm-hmm.
And so clearing that out and taking a step back from it and deciding consciously, hey, okay, this is what I'm going to decide for myself.
Yeah.
How I'm going to approach this going forward. That's the thing. Like the craving side of it, the difficulty of it,
The preparation.
the preparation.
That's how we started this whole conversation.
The organization we had to do to get ready to do it.
Mm-hmm. And
all of that,
the
all
teamwork
of that,
too.
Yeah, all of that is part of untying the knot of how you got into it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The other thing I like about this too is we keep talking about, since we moved up here, our goal is to eventually have our own own a house, property, everything like that. And that's where you get self-sufficient. And there's a lot of people, well, all over the world, but up here in Oregon, we know a lot of people that live like that.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we're that point to where you have your own chickens and you feed them and you harvest those eggs and you where you're growing and in control of all the things. Cause like Aaron just said, everything that you buy in the supermarket is so tainted now. All the hormones and the dyeing meat to make it look more appealing, and like the things they do.
It's wild, dude.
And the water, the water that comes out of a lot of meat you cook it and it just shrinks down to nothing, and it's out of control what is available in the grocery stores.
Well, and here's the other side of all of this.
Yeah.
Like, we are part of a counterculture, right?
Okay.
I mean, hippies, heads, whatever you want to call us, label us,
Sure.
whatever.
Sure.
We're part of a counterculture, and
I'm just a little fishy.
And this is also
So.
counterculture, what we're doing too.
exactly. But my point is, like, if we behave like everyone else, then we are like everyone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
if we're counter culture, then we have to be counter the culture. Do you? And not for the sake of being it, but we all know through psychedelic journeying and all that, the culture is not our friend, right? We know that this system that we're all in is not doing us all any favors. And so to be complacent and complicit and going along with it,
That's
that's
what I'm guilty of.
Yeah, me
for
too.
Sure.
At some point, we have to be like, oh shit, I really mean what I say. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I am who I say I am.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah, but I have to be who I am to the best of my ability all the
Yes.
way, and not allow myself to, like, look, I am all about being comfortable and fucking giving into my desires, and I'm all about it. But at some point, man, like,
That's not
the consciousness of the planet is raising.
Yes.
There's an awakening happening,
Yep.
and we are part of that. So I needed to decide for myself how much I want to be a part of that. And so by taking control of what I put into my face, if that's going to help me get a little more acquainted with myself,
A lot more.
and my desires and my motivations and my whatever's inside, then I'm going to do that to help myself be a part of that thing that's going on. Does that make sense, everybody? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know
This
how,
is a
like,
good ramble.
You know
Aaron.
how, like, there's a trifecta? I don't know how many this one is, but, like, so we had that storm. We have the whole 30. We had Charles Patty. And we have last night, we had this really incredible night. The three of us at home. And another one, Tony Robbins, in the middle of that. So let me just go off on a side tangent.
Oh boy, here we go, everybody.
It'll make sense in a second. If you guys know me and listen, you know that I always like to self-improve. I'm always wanting to do good stuff. And I feel as if No Simple Road is growing out of, it's growing. It's not out of, but it's growing.
Yeah.
So whatever that means is Aaron and Melanie and Apple are growing. And so when we're growing, what does that look like? And what is that? And so I'm always thinking of ways that I can be better myself, you know, and doing this with the guys, I can't underscore. Yes, it's so important to do it for yourself, but when you're a team, if your entire team doesn't do the same thing, then that's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. There's like a disconnect there. And so until we're all on the same page, and we're not always ready at the same time. That's the thing. Like like Apple started off like I was a week behind or whatever, Aaron and Mel or whatever. Well, I mean, I would like to say that I was ready when we moved here, but nobody else was ready, and maybe I wasn't ready either. Maybe I wasn't ready either.
You did it when it was time.
We're all doing
truth.
it when it's time. And so now everything is syncing up, and during that sync, I saw this on Instagram, Tony Robbins, like free, 3 free day, or 3-day free webinar or seminar, Tony Robbins. I've always been interested in Tony Robbins because he's been around the longest. Like there's all these other motivators that have come and go. I can't even remember any of their names, but Tony Robbins remains like a constant, and he has talked to everybody, and he's like, so I was like listening to him on Theo Vaughn. I listened to him on this, that, and the other. And then that summit kept coming into my feed. And I was like, you know what?
They got you.
I'm just going to see what days these are. When I looked at the days, they were my days off. All 3 of my days off. And I was like, I can literally do this. So I immediately,
like meant to be.
Yeah. So I literally signed up
go.
because it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. So I signed up, and we are still cleaning up from kind of like the flood. Like in addition to that, I also scheduled a women's gathering.
We don't do anything halfway around here.
No, guys.
We have a flood.
We
It's
just
always
keep going.
busy.
And we just
always
go.
busy.
We have a flood, and I'm still scheduling parties. Like, doesn't matter, whatever. So I scheduled this party. And then it was that day that I scheduled the party that was the summit was supposed to start. So I do it from 11 to 2. And during that summit, I'm paying attention and cleaning the room and getting this, group women's gathering room ready. The gathering turns out amazing. It's transcendental, and I should probably do a side road about it, but
You should.
Okay. So I'll do a side road about it, but that's not the main star right now. What the main star is I'm on the heels of this Tony Robbins event at this women's gathering, and all the things that these women are talking about is these. We started with our shadow side, talking about our shadow side and what things we need to like let go. It was a full moon, and so this need for me to not shine my brightest, to just be. And that to me is my problem.
Like hiding your light?
Yeah. Like just being enough.
No,
just
let that love light shine, man.
No, yeah, definitely the love light's been put like a little blanket over it, like a little pillow fort or
Get
something
your hands
over
out
it.
your pockets.
A little shade.
And I mean that's a really deep-seated thing for a lot of things. It's why I am so inconsistent with my social media and things like that. It's because like I don't feel like I want to be seen,
Oh yeah, we were just talking about before the cameras came on.
Yeah,
actually.
before the cameras came on, I don't want to be seen. I can be heard because I know what I have the right things to say, but I don't want to be seen. And so it's like matching up all of these things, like the Voltron, like getting into all of the perfect right spaces. And so, like I said, it was like this Tony Robbins seminar on the heels of this women's gathering with the Whole30 diet after our flood and crazy storm, and going to see my sister for the first time in
few years. Like that's how I started my New Year's out.
Yeah.
I flew out to go see my sister. So I've had a very, very active January. And
I have a news flash.
what?
It's not going to stop.
And it's not over. It's not going to stop and it's not over. And so I am not trying to bow or dim my light anymore. 2, Tony Robbins is dope. I will say that. Like,
He's cool, man.
he really is. Like, okay, if you just sit on the sideline and listen to him, I could see how you could like sit there and like have so many negative things to say. Like, who the fuck is this guy think he is? Like you could say so many things, but when you're literally listening and you're paying attention and so he has this thing about immersion, right? Like you can't pussyfoot around, like you said. You got to get immersed into it. You either do it or you don't. So this is why those seminars cost so much, because they're doing like 12 hours a day and they're like, you're not going home till you're literally changed. And that's why they do it like that 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, because then you're on a freaking high and you can go home to your kids and your normal life and your house, but you've got this energy.
It sounds like it sounds to me like a fish run.
It is.
Well, it makes you completely dedicate yourself to
Absolutely.
it, which makes sense. If it was a 2-hour class, you're in
You
and
could be
out,
like,
you're back to
I'm
farting
done.
around, whatever.
No, dude, yeah.
Well, yeah, it makes you focus completely on it.
Yeah, so then the Women's Day goes great. We do that. Then it's Friday morning. I go and I was like, okay, Friday morning, I had to go get my blood drawn and came back, did the Tony Robbins thing. And again, it kind of like awakened that thing. And day 3 is like supposed to like really pump you up. We were all, we had a late night last night.
A very late night.
And I didn't care. I got up and I still did my Tony Robbins. We were going to Costco. I had my phone on with Tony Robbins in Costco. Like,
Mel, when you start something, that thing that you said that you admire in me, you have the same thing. You do the same thing. You're not going to quit. You're in the parking lot in Costco finishing your Tony Robbins thing.
Yeah,
you have the same thing. It's just
because I want to make sure if the system works, right? I want to I'll see it to the end, and if it didn't work, then I'll know it then. But if I quit halfway, then I don't know if it worked. And so what I'm saying is that all of this whole entire month has been a catalyst to push to change. And Tony Robbins talked about you don't have lasting change without a change in identity.
You know, the whole thing with what I dipped in and out over the course of your course.
Yeah.
He's giving people the psychedelic journey without taking psychedelics over a bunch of days. Like he went through the whole hero's journey and changing your identity and all that stuff that you get from a really insightful psychedelic trip. All that information that you're just...
And he's doing it in plain English. So he's like, you can't change your identity if you don't change things that you would... If you wouldn't normally do something, then you need to go do that. And I don't mean like dangerous or anything like that, but...
I'm going to jump off a cliff.
But like if you're not normally one to, prep your meals for the week, then that means you need to fucking start prepping your meals for the week. See how it changes it, So it was like all these like things that it's not like I didn't know them, but when you get them with all that energy that Tony Robbins has, because he's got a buttload of energy.
That's a big dude, man.
He's a big dude.
That's
he's he's 64. Yeah, he's 64
One thing I like
old.
about him too is that's you don't hear bad stuff about him.
No.
Like a lot of self-help guru people in the past, like you said, they come and
he
go.
He gives his money back.
Something happens. They're not doing the right thing. Tony Robbins,
dude, he'll give you your money back.
Dope.
If you don't like it, he gives. If you don't get something back from that, get your money back.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
No, that's fair.
You know what? Like if we're like, hey, pay for this, and if you got it and you're like, this is bullshit, now you got to keep it. But Tony Robbins is like, go through my course. If it doesn't change you, if you didn't get anything out of it, then I'll give you your $500 back or your $900 back or whatever you've invested back.
That's cool.
That's cool. And you did get something out of it. So you're just going to let him have the money because he does deserve it because he's doing something legit.
He really
is doing something legit.
It like, I get it. and I saw what was going on, and it's cool. But I think that we've done it like
we're doing our own way.
We did it gangster style.
Yeah,
like,
we're doing our own thing, and we're doing our own way, but it's still Tony Robbins still can help us in our gangster style do it better.
No.
And so
I'll take help from anywhere.
I'll
man.
tell you it was a Sankalpa, like Sankalpa, one of those your heart prayers, to yourself.
Yeah.
And it was for me, Aaron, and Apple to do a Tony Robbins thing, whether it was read a book or do a seminar together or something, and like for the rest of the year, like see how that sent us out in the show. That was that was it. Because I had seen that Theo Von thing. And so, and then me and you were talking about it during lunch, and you're like, well, I'll sign up for it. And you popped in and out whenever you could and listened to it and turned on the radio when I came in with my, my screen or whatever. And I know that that's your way, and this was my way. I could have been way more into it. I could have been secluded and been like cut everything off and stuff like that, but I didn't. And so I don't know how serious I'm going to get or not going to get, but I know that I've learned a lot, and I'm applying it immediately to what we're doing.
As I did today with putting us on this live stream. I was like, look, if we're going to do it, we're going to be consistent, and we're going in all the way. We're not going to do half measures around here.
Well, because remember last week I was saying that? Yeah. I said that to you last week, and then this week you're saying it back to me,
Hey, you know what?
I just got caught up to speed 2 minutes before we go on air.
Yeah. So Apple's in his pajamas.
The funny thing about the funny thing about the three of us is that me and Aaron will have all these deep, in-depth conversations,
and I just feel like Apple knows.
Well, as married couples do, you guys talk about the show and everything all the time. I'm a single dude. I'm not
in it.
Most of the time, I'm not thinking about it or talking to anybody about the show,
and I just
or
figure
anything. Yeah.
Like you're part of the mind, dude.
Which is funny. We've got a lot better at it too, because you guys used to get pissed at me, and I'm like, that's not fair.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Not anymore.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's gotten a lot better now because
I still get pissed.
You guys quickly realize, but it's non-consequential because you realize now you're like, oh, that's not fair because you don't even do that. It's been a while since you're like, yes, I did tell you, and then you're like, oh wait, no, that was when you were at work and me and Mel had a long conversation. Or me and Mel were laying in bed last night talking about this before we went to bed.
The changes that Aaron and I make are not necessarily the changes that like we've made the decision. We can't make a decision for you.
Yeah.
Even though we're a team, like we know what we want to do. And then sometimes that starts with just one of us. I know what I want to do. I can't make him do what I want.
That's called being a catalyst.
Yeah. And so this whole food thing has been a catalyst to get No Simple Road on the same page, to go to a fucking Tony Robbins seminar and then go to My Self Wellness after that.
Shit.
And then boom in your faces to everybody else. I don't know what else is going to happen after that.
Oh, by the way, there's a new page on the No Simple Road website. If you go to www.nosimpleroad.com right now, go up in the menu, and there's a psychedelic therapy. There's a psychedelic therapy link up there. Sorry about that. That was Simon calling. And My Self Wellness is in there. Some info on ketamine therapy. They're doing IV and IM ketamine therapy at My Self Wellness, among other amazing things. And we made them a page on the No Simple Road website. We believed in the mission of what they're doing so much that we made them a part of our show.
And if you haven't listened yet, too, we've been getting we've gotten a whole lot of very positive feedback from everybody that's listened to the episode.
And now my new dream guest is Tony Robbins.
Okay, well,
that's my new dream guest.
Everybody
I'm putting
out
it out
there that's listening, you help us manifest that for 2024 or 2025. I got my dream guest this year already. Yeah. So let's help Mel get hers. Apple, who's your dream guest for 2024?
I don't know. I'll come up with one. I got to think on that. I can't just throw.
No, I know. That's hard. I feel it, so that's why I said it.
You know who I reached out to?
Who?
Ed Helms.
from the Hangover.
Oh, from Hangover.
Yep, he jams on the banjo.
He's
He's part
amazing.
of the World Bluegrass Association.
I've seen.
Thank you, Scott,
I know
for
he
sending
plays
that over.
banjo. I've seen that. Yeah, he's dope.
Yep. So hopefully he'll reach back out to us and we'll get him on the show.
I mean, I don't think this conversation was too disjointed.
No, it made
good sense, right, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, we wanted to make changes on our own self and realize that once you do something big, you can't help but spill over into other people's lives.
And this right now, like this whole episode, that this is No Simple Road, as you all know. You know, we do a lot of music, we do a lot of things, but right now, especially through the holidays, after the holidays, like I said earlier, that this is kind of our downtime. A lot of us, festival goers, music fans, we're waiting for all the new announcements that are going to be happening soon of planning our spring and summer and fall, planning our rest of the year. This January is kind of the down month, like the month to self-reflect. Yeah. Reflect on home, yourself, everything. And that's what we're doing. And that's what this is kind of addressing that.
And thanks for taking the trip with us, Apple.
Yeah. And for real, dude.
Yeah.
It feels really good to have the three of us doing it.
I appreciate that I'll say this before we wrap up and stuff to you. I appreciate how you guys, because I know sometimes I'm a difficult person. Like most people, I'm my own worst enemy, and I don't like being told what to do. I don't like following a lot of times and stuff, but you guys really been really cool about this. I was almost waiting for like you're just not even gonna fucking do it type thing, and then I would have been like, no, I'm not. But like yesterday, me and Mel, I felt there was no pressure from Mel. I felt myself, like, because we hadn't talked about it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't fully on board. I've been slow rolling into it, and I told Mel, I was like, just so you know, I like kind of explained myself and where I was at. And you just looked at me and you're like, that's cool. I'm glad to know. Apple, you're on your own trip, and I know you're trying. You were like, I know you're trying, and you're on your own trip. Your different
you're
timeline.
on your timeline.
Yeah, well, and the same thing. You guys start. I didn't know you guys even started until halfway through the day last week, and Aaron saw. I'm like eating. I don't even remember I was eating, but it was nothing with Whole 30, and he's like, dude, we started today. I was like, what do you mean we started? I'm fucking sitting there drinking fucking sugar coffee, eating bread. I'm like, well, I blew it for today. I had no idea. But that you guys you're a couple on your theme, but we're doing this together.
Yeah, I was very,
and I'm doing it. I'm just a little behind,
and which is totally fine.
Well, it works out perfect. You guys planned this perfectly. They planned this to.
We didn't plan it.
We didn't plan it. This has happened. It was happenstance.
You didn't plan it. It happenstance then. Like, because we were going to start this like right at the new year, but then a lot of shit happened that knocked us off track of starting right away. But you guys are going to end right before you go to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you guys are on to Mexico, and that's when I will be ending through the time that you guys are gone.
When this airs on the podcast stream, Mel and I will have 21 days to Mexico. It's 3 weeks to you and me. Not that anybody's counting, but I'm counting now.
Yeah.
Down to Fish Mexico.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
I'm very excited.
Good choice. Yeah.
That was boring.
More good
that
choices.
That was a boring one.
Yeah. High five.
If you would like to fund Apple's trip to Mexico, call 1-800. Oh, no. This is that we've talked about that too. This is something I'm going to make it to Mexico eventually. It's just a big commitment. And I love that it's your guys' cute getaway. It's a fucking dope vacation for you guys.
I will say that, first of all, Mexico is somewhere I never thought that I would go repeatedly with Aaron, because Aaron doesn't like warm temperatures or that kind of
for
climate.
some sun right now.
Or that type of a climate. So that in itself is like, what? And then number two, something that we both really, truly, truly enjoy, and we're solo, but we're also not.
I know.
Like, we get to truly be a couple, but we can still kind of be like, like have people that we know around us. And that is so comforting to me. Like, it just makes me feel really grateful for everything that we have, no matter how hard we've had to keep it.
I'm just,
how hard we had to maintain it.
I'm just waiting for like fish Alaska, fish Iceland, fish Norway. Yeah, then
I think
really
they've
be
played
on
in
board.
Alaska before.
Probably.
I think they have.
Yeah, but it's not like a yearly thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
But I know I would love Mexico. I loved
Dude, you would
Costa
have a
Rica. I
blast.
loved Costa Rica when I went there. And I am not a sun hot tropic person, but when you get into it, it's
Brother, if you went on that trip and didn't have fun, then we need to have a serious discussion.
I would have fun.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
Yeah.
Fish,
All right.
friends.
Well, thank you for listening to our update of what we're doing here in the NSR household, the main station,
Headquarters.
HQ.
Yeah, man. And you know what? The whole thing with No Simple Road is us sharing our lives with all of you and
Yeah.
the stuff that we like and what we're into and what we're doing. And this is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So there it is.
This is
and
it.
I wanted to throw one thing in because we didn't. I was waiting for one of you to do it in the beginning. A special shout out to Woven Free.
Ooh,
Oh,
Woven
yeah.
Free. That's right. We got these hats. And I'll just say
Love our
a
hats.
special shout out to my boy, Andy Frasco in the UN. I've got his sweatshirt on right now.
There was actually a comment in last week's stream on YouTube asking where we got the hats.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
And then also a shout out to
the Grateful
Mountain. Support your local artists. This is a
That's
new
right.
friend of ours here up in Portland. Dyed me the dopest pair of overalls in my colors of orange and purple. And was I like
too big?
Aaron got it like a year ago. I've lost enough
You've lost,
inches.
so much of yourself.
I was just swimming. And I went and picked him up from him today, met him, and he was like, bro, do you realize how big these are? Like, looking at you, these aren't going to fit. So, but he's dope. He nailed the colors. I was so happy, but he's so dope that he's like, dude, if they don't fit, return them to me. I'll sell them, and I'll do a new pair for you that fits.
Where can people follow him?
At the Grateful Mountain on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. There it is. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. We will be back on Friday with another episode of No Simple Road. And until then, what I would like you to do.
What?
Take care of each other. Smile at a stranger.
Take care of yourself.
Safety third. Miss you too, PJ. Hydrate. And hey, you know what? Everything is permitted. Nothing is forbidden. It's all about control at this point in the game, right? So just take care of yourself, man.
Yeah.
Do the best you can.
Yeah.
Give where you can give. Don't give where you don't want to. And that's the end of it.
Small incremental changes
And don't
toward
take more
your
than you
goal.
need.
And we love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Like twisting, turns to mission, turning this to journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey, this is Steve Choi, host of the Musicians Guild podcast, part of the Sound Talent Media podcast network. Within the four walls of the Musicians Guild, we'll be discussing the habits, idiosyncrasies, experiences, and general psychology of my friends and peers, all involved with music in various capacities. Listen and subscribe at soundtalentmedia.com.